From Bloomberg, Goldman to refuse IPOs if all directors are straight white men. So this is, I'm gonna do this is some training news.
And just for some background, for everyone knows who Goldman Sachs is, but they're the largest investment bank in the world. So they do most of the IPOs that are hitting the S&P 500.
Right. So
I mean, I'm sorry, the Nasdaq and the
right.
God, I'm blanking on it. What's the other one called?
So basically, Goldman Sachs competition is about to get a cutting edge.
No,
Yes.
not really. Well, maybe, but also, I've been telling you guys this. So Goldman is refusing IPOs if all directors are white, straight men. So all you got to do is bravely come out as a masculine-presenting transgendered lesbian, and now your directors are not white, straight men. They're now stunning and brave white trans women. I mean, look, eventually you're going to be like, yeah, that, look, it works. I can tell you it works. I've had numerous people contact me with testimonials about how this saved their life. I mean, look, you just put your pride aside. And also, no one, like, Halsey, how often does someone look at your driver's license on a given day?
I would say never. I mean,
never.
The only time I ever even take my license out is if I'm going to the kids' school. You have to give in your license to get a visitor badge. Like, that's the only time I ever take my driver's license out of my wallet.
But they're not looking at your sex. They're just looking at your picture.
No.
You will never get questioned on your sex that's printed on your driver's license. So
No.
you lose nothing. Nothing at all. There's literally no downside. You just change your gender on your driver's license to female. Now, do not change it to trans. Just change it to female. And then, poof, you're now immune to all these bullshit laws. It's a fucking cheat code for life. And there's no downside to it. And you can still dress like a man. You can still use male pronouns. You don't have to change literally anything in your life. But if you want to, if you find like something fabulous that's like rainbow colored, go ahead and fucking wear it. Whatever, you're a tranny now. Like, live the dream. But it's so easy. And this is a perfect example. So if you have a company that you want to bring to Goldman to have an IPO, one of you is going to have to look deep inside themselves and discover their inner masculine presenting transgendered lesbian if they want Goldman to help you or find someone else. Now, our next article is related to this. This is from the American Mirror. Miami PD suspends white officer who begins identifying as black. Now, the problem with this guy is they're using the fact that he previously identified as white, or I think he actually identified as white Hispanic on his application back in like 2014. But now he's trying to identify as black, I guess because he's part black and he wants to change his race. And they're saying that he lied and they fired him. Now, he was dumb. All he had to do is be a stunning and brave masculine presenting transgendered lesbian. Because what are you going to say? Oh, well, you identified as a man in 2014. Yeah, I was in the closet. I decided to live my truth. What are they going to say? You're lying? Based on what? What possible test can they give you to prove that you're not a tranny? There's literally no test. And people have said...
So I was with someone...
Go ahead.
I was with someone yesterday online at the Trump rally, and I kept quoting you over and over on this one. You can do this, but you have to be ready to eat the whole ass. Like, if you're not willing to take this all the way, don't do it, because you will embarrass yourself if they call you and you fold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to. This has to be your truth. You don't make it like, remember the Kekistan meme, where they tried to take a Nazi flag and make it green and make fun of white instead of just making their own identity. They wanted to make fun of identitarian politics by creating a mock identitarian politic, and all they did was they got Pepe branded a hate symbol. And then you had the people in 4chan with the "it's okay to be white" and the milk and the okay sign. And as you can see, the left has absolutely no problem declaring innocuous, common things as racist. So yes, you're proving that the left is irrational, but we already all knew that. So you're not really accomplishing anything. What this does, this accomplishes things. identifying as a transgendered lesbian accomplishes things. It gets you out, and you're not memeing. You're not making fun of it. You're just appropriating it and using it to your advantage. So I equate it to this. You are learning the rules of the game. So these are the rules of the game. Like, you ever look up a walkthrough or an FAQ for a video game, and there's like a section for cheats and hints? I'm giving you a cheat code for life. You don't have to use it. If you want to fucking go through life like it's Dark Souls on the hardest difficulty setting and make things worse for yourself, be my guest. But I'm giving you a cheat code that will make life easier for you in innumerable ways. It will save you from getting fired. It will save you from layoffs. It will save you from false rape accusations. It will save you from sexual harassment accusations. There was a guy who didn't go to fucking class. He was about to lose his scholarship. He got a scholarship for being a minority, didn't go to class, was about to lose his scholarship, came out as a masturbating transgendered lesbian, got a scholarship back. And then he did it again, and they let him back a second time. He got three chances. Because if he didn't come out as a masturbating transgendered lesbian, he would have been thrown out of college. That's what I'm talking about. Do you remember
there was a show? There was a show on TV called like the Mindy Show or the Mindy Files. It was about this Indian woman.
Yeah, the Mindy Project.
Yeah, so her brother couldn't get into med school. So he cut his hair really short and started speaking like he was from the ghetto and pretended to be black, and he got in.
Exactly. No, my point is, though, this guy, if you try to claim a different race, they're going to say that you're lying because you identified as this race in 2014, and now in 2019 you're saying you're black. You're lying because your race isn't spontaneously changed, but your sexuality, your gender identity, that's completely fluid. That's a social construct. You can absolutely change your gender identity at any time, and they can't say, "Oh, you were lying in 2014 when you identified as a man." Well, I was living in the closet. Now I'm living my truth. They can't say shit. They can't say shit. So that's where this guy fucked up. When he's trying to identify as black, he should have just come out as a trans woman, and then no one would have said shit. He would have fucking had the
So what he did was, after he got his acceptance, he found out, I think from a lawyer friend of his, that if he took the acceptance and they found out later that he wasn't actually black and he was Indian, he could lose his medical license. So he decided not to take the scholarship. I don't even think he ever went to med school, but he published this whole thing about he got denied from every med school he applied to. And then when he all of a sudden changed his name and pretended to be black, then he got into all of those med schools with the exact same transcripts.
Well, so that just goes to show you. So let's say you lie. If you go to med school and pass med school and get your license or get your degree in medicine, and then you get your license and everything, and they're like, "Oh, you lied to get into college. You're not really black." Yeah, but I still know how to do medicine. Yeah, well, now you can't practice medicine anymore because you lied about your race. Okay, and then you just fucking go to another country. Hey, you need any doctors here? Yeah, sure do. Thanks. Like, yeah, here we go. I know medicine. It's not like they can't like MIB fucking take your memories away and suck all the knowledge of medicine that you learned in college just because you lied about your race to get in. But a better reason, if you come out as trans, because now that being a trans woman is a minority, you can get all the benefits of that without any sort of, there's no test. Like, you can find out if someone's lying about their race. There's like genetic tests you can do. But if someone says, I'm a woman, what are you going to do? Now, people have said that they're coming up with brain scans to find out who's really a trans woman. But here's what's fucked up. You can use this against them. So the entire basis of these brain scans is to say that, well, the male brain and the female brain are different. So if they scan you and you have a male brain, you can't really be trans. But if you're really trans, you're going to have a female brain. But according to feminism, there is no difference between male and female brains.
It's a social construct, not biological.
You're right. Men and women aren't different. What are you talking about? So if men and women cannot be different, thus, there cannot be a male and female brain. Thus, there cannot be a test to determine if someone's trans or not. So you use progressivism against itself, and you win. These are the rules of the game. You can play the game. Look, the rules are retarded, don't get me wrong, but these are the rules of the game. So learn to play the game, learn to win, shut the fuck up. All right, moving on. Here we have another example of people not playing the game. From the UK, from National File. Rape victim told by publisher attacks weren't racist because she is white. Author of book on grooming gang scandal given hefty dose of social justice. So, when white women are raped by Muslims, it's not racism because they're white. But it could be homophobic. Could be transphobic. Just saying. You got it. I'm throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. You can use it or not use it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Cat, you gotta get the fuck out of there. Seriously.
Well, look, it's fine. We actually have more articles demonstrating this. Here's another example. Our next article from the Daily Caller. This is exclusive. Columbia University found him guilty, but he's got voice recordings, and he's not afraid. This guy, a female co-student, was seducing him. She was drunk. He basically resisted her advances, started recording her coming on to him, and they didn't even have sex, but she reported him for rape anyway. He had all the evidence, exonerated him, and the school didn't care. They literally did not care that he was innocent. They got rid of him anyway. So now he's suing the school. Now,
Alpha Chat confirmed. That's how you fucking do it.
My point is though, he could have avoided all this hassle by coming out as a masculine transgender lesbian. So you say this woman is claiming she raped me, but she's saying I raped her, but actually she came on to me. Here's my voice recordings, and by the way, I'm a woman. Now they're gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't realize you were a woman. I guess she's the rapist, and then all the problems go away. Now, in the end, he might win the lawsuit. But think about all the time and effort and all the energy and all the bullshit he's going to have to deal with to finally see justice done. He could have just bypassed all that shit by just being a trans woman. And then the school, because they're all about social justice, they would have because when you have, for example, give you a perfect example. In family court, if you are a gay couple, like two men or two women, get divorced, custody is split joint 50-50. By default. So two men get married, adopt a kid, and then get divorced. Custody is 50-50 joint. Two lesbians get married, have a kid, get divorced. Custody split 50-50. When a man and a woman get married and get divorced, it's 93-7 favoring the woman. And usually the man doesn't get any sort of custody. He has visitation. But she gets sole custody while he gets visitation a couple weeks a year or something. Now, why is that? It's because of social justice and bullshit. So what you do is you come out as a woman, and then now instead of you fighting for your right to see your kids, now you get joint custody right off the top. No bullshit. Just fucking joint custody. Fucking I'm a woman. Ta-da. So
Maybe
I'm just saying.
Subsidies too. Not just that. You'll have a whole apparatus behind you fighting for the cause, not
Of
just
course.
your kid.
Of course. So can you imagine the headlines like brave trans woman divorcing transphobic cis woman, and be like, she cheated on me because she couldn't stand the fact that I was a woman too, and I know, I tried to be a good mother to our children, and she's like, you're not a woman, and it hurt me. She wouldn't accept my truth. And you see the feminist family court judge you go, sister, you go, I give you sole custody, case dismissed. And then you're just like,
That's fucking comedy gold right there.
But it's not comedy. It's using the rules of the game. So this guy, look, I'm glad I'm glad he has the recordings. I hope he wins, but I can only imagine how much easier this situation would have been resolved had he been a trans woman and not a cis man. So I'm throwing it out there. Here you go. Here, just take it. Take this cheat code. You don't have to use it, but you probably should use it. Now, if you want a glaring example of how wonderful it is to be a trans woman, our next article is from Breitbart. From Breitbart.com, transgender MMA fighter who fractured a woman's skull named bravest athlete in history. Let me repeat that.
I can't.
Sister, go.
Let me repeat that. Transgender MMA fighter who fractured a woman's skull named bravest athlete in history.
Woohoo!
Now they're leaving out a couple of the details of this.
Okay.
This is that Fallon Fox girl.
Mm-hmm.
She she transitioned, and then 2 years later she started female MMA. She had been training male MMA her whole adult life.
Oh, she has arms like fucking canned hams.
Something. Oh yeah, but she fought something like 8 or 9 fights before telling anybody she was transgendered. And it was after she fractured this chick's skull. She mentioned it on a podcast as if it wasn't a big deal. And even the podcast host was like, wait a minute, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm transgendered. And they're like, did you ever tell anyone this? And she said, no. And they said, not even the licensing board? No. That's what got Joe Rogan so upset. He was pissed that she hadn't told anybody. He said, if you want to fight a trans woman and you're a woman and you know, who cares? But you should not be allowed to participate if you don't even tell anybody.
Oh, Halsey.
This sounds perfectly fine to me, Halsey. I don't know what the big deal is.
You're
transphobic.
transphobic.
I think he's being transphobic.
I think you're missing the part where trans women are real women and they should be treated just like real women. And there's no difference between a trans woman and a real woman, or a woman and a man for that matter, because we're all equal. Why are you against equality, Halsey?
Yes,
I suck like that.
Words right out of my
I
mouth.
know.
I mean,
so
the thing about Fallon Fox as well is like it was after her second professional fight they actually discovered that she was trans, and she actually got her first loss right after that to another girl in the UFC, and this was at featherweight, and Ashley Evans, was the one who beat Fallon Fox, actually knocked Fallon Fox out 2 times, because one time it was end of the round, so it didn't count. There was some controversy. Then she did it in the 3rd round as well. She's fighting at flyweight now, and Fallon Fox fought at featherweight. That's 20 pounds difference, and that's.
But I'm saying, did you see the fight?
I didn't.
Because what you just said was very important. She hit Fallon Fox after the bell and knocked her out, and then very quickly into the 3rd round, because they didn't KO Fallon Fox in the 2nd, she just knocked her out like cold because she was already stunned. But she didn't beat her fair. Like she it was a cheap shot, and then she knocked her out after the cheap shot.
I still don't understand where all this hostility is coming from.
Okay. So here's my point. I want you to compare.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, this is how powerful this cheat code is. So not only do you protect yourself from getting fired, not only do you allow your company to get an IPO through Goldman Sachs, not only can you can all kinds of shit. You can fucking knock a bitch out, break her fucking skull, watch her brains ooze out like toothpaste, and they will celebrate you as a brave, stunning athlete.
Lord Anise for $2. Halsey is a bigot. Cancel Halsey News. No, Halsey is a bigot. Donate to Halsey News.
Oh shit! Going with the reverse psychology, eh?
Nope. Just proud of who I am. Stunning and brave.
All right.
Fallon Fox is getting 45 years this year, and retired after this controversy where she broke the skull for a 2nd time in 2014. She retired from MMA back then.
So the woman whose first skull she broke, now she wanted a rematch. So this isn't like she was saying, oh, I only lost because. But she said that when she fought Fallon Fox, the overwhelming strength that Fallon Fox used against her was something she has never experienced in her 20 or 30 fights for MMA. Like she said, she had no idea that level of strength even existed because she's never fought a man before.
She was ragdolling. I saw the fight.
Whoa.
She was
She
getting
called her a man.
around.
That's transphobic. That's really transphobic.
The last comment was mine. She had never fought a man before. I'm saying that's why she just said she never felt that overwhelming sense of strength before as when she had fought Fallon Fox. Like it was alien to her. I'm saying my own comment, the reason she hadn't is she had never fought a man before.
Mm-hmm. There was a video of a guy wrestling 2 chicks at the same time, and he easily picked them both up. It was
I saw that. Yeah.
The cameraman was about to jump in like White Knight, like, oh, I was about to jump in. Like, fucking white knights, man. Like, these chicks wanted to fight him. So he's, like, playing with them. He's not hurting them. But even then when he actually, like, put them in a submission hold. Like, he put her in a submission hold so she'd tap out. And then the cameraman was, like, a second away from dropping the camera and white knighting for her. Like, you fucking pussy white knight. Like, goddamn dickless piece of shit. It's whatever. Like, these women, like, want to pick fights. And in fact, some of these women, they believe the bullshit. They believe this propaganda where they think they actually are strong as a man. And they pick fights with a man. And they're used to men letting them win. Like, this is an article, like, we covered a couple years ago, like, early on, back in the day, about this woman who would used to do wrestling at some kind of Ren Fair thing. Like, she would wrestle with other people.
Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, it was a Renaissance Fair. And the guys would let her win because they just wanted to wrestle with a chick. And she actually believed that her being smaller gave her an advantage because she was so spry. But she eventually challenged her ex-boyfriend to a wrestling match, thinking that she actually could wrestle, and he just knocked her out. He like bashed her head against a tree root and knocked her the fuck out. And then there was this whole article, what a piece of shit he was. And it's like, you realize she could have died? Like, picking fights with men because they've let you win your entire life, and you literally don't know that men are fucking twice as strong as you or 3 times as strong as you. Like, that will get you fucking killed. Like, you watch these World Star videos. Like, this woman tried to pull she tried to pull a knife on a guy. The dude picked up an entire bar stool and flung it at her face with one arm and knocked her the fuck out. It's like,
do you remember Ronda Rousey?
I remember Ronda. I remember the hype train that was Ronda Rousey until she got knocked the fuck out.
So Ronda Rousey, at the time where Fallon Fox like admitted that she was trans, she said something like, I absolutely believe that Fallon Fox has an undue advantage. And with that said, I still want to fight her and kick the shit out of her. And they went nuts on her over it for transphobia.
Highly transphobic.
Well, there were people saying that Ronda Rousey can beat a man because she was like undefeated and everything. There was this huge hype train. Like, here's the thing. The lowest ranking MMA fighter, like the worst MMA fighter in UFC, could whoop every single female MMA fighter's ass. Like, there's this no question. But anyway, okay. That I just want to, again, Stunning and Brave. I'm just showing you how deep this rabbit hole goes. But so here we go. Let's do some applications. Our last article.
I'm servicing M for $5. Says Halsey, come on with the transphobia. Trans women are real women.
Trans women are real women.
Thank you, whoever the commenter was.
Thank you.
Stunning and Brave.
Get some snaps. Can we get some snaps in the chat for
war? War never changes. In the current year, women have declared war on men. Men are not only guilty until proven innocent, but they are not even allowed to prove their innocence. In response to this warfare waged by women, known as feminism, men have sought refuge with waifus, artificial women able to satisfy a man's need for love and sex. Retailers like the dollhouse began to spread, bringing waifus to men everywhere, freeing them from the enslavement of feminism. Get your waifu today from thedollhouse.com or dc.dollhouse.com if you're in the United States, before they're banned by feminism so they can control men once more. Go to thedollhouse.com and dcdollhouse.com to find your waifu today, before it's too late.
13 Rules to Not Be a Fucking Cuck is my latest book, and my greatest book. My previous works have been mostly comedy, satire, parody. This is a book I didn't just do for the lulz and because it was funny, but actually because I think it will make a difference and will help people. We live in a world with a lot of different competing ideologies, individuals, organizations, everything you can think of, trying to subvert your life for its purpose. Everybody has a plan for your life and they don't care what yours is. But if you don't stand up for your life, about what you want to do with your life, somebody else is going to make that decision for you. So don't be a cuck. Check out 13 Rules to Not Be a Fucking Cuck on Amazon and Amazon Kindle. Links in the description.